Hello, producer, and welcome now to Shout Out Wednesday. We have a new rule for Shout Out Wednesday. Post a comment or ask a question on the SoulGardenCollective.tv, and only on SoulGardenCollective.tv. That's where we're going to be reading these, and I'll do my best to shout back 1 week later. Well, my prediction for the Tauri, sunny and productive for a second day in a row. The moon is in Gemini, putting emotional focus on what you do best, producing things. This is an excellent time, Taurus, to put your heart into being more valuable and drawing in abundance. This is also a time where you can slip to the dark side of the moon. Don't let yourself worry about not having money. Flip that frown upside down and emotionally invest in what you do best, which is make things happen and make things out of thin air. That's what Tauruses are, the producers. Now, zipping around the zodiac, the sun now in chapter 2 of Pisces, today ruled by Mercury Gemini, which basically says it's an excellent day for exchanging information, conversations, emails, or going out and gathering and researching information. The topic for Taurus is where you fit in to society. Now, this is going to be a huge ordeal in the next 2 weeks. The sun is now beginning to oppose Saturn retrograde in Virgo, and the sun will conjunct Uranus in a few days. And when the sun conjuncts Uranus, Tauruses are going to have an epiphany on how they see themselves in the world. Something you didn't see before, but you had to go through this soul work to get there. Now, by soul work, this is what I mean. You're going to be doing a balancing act between two sides of your life. On the one hand, how you think you should be in the world, who your friends are, who your viewers are, if you're a blogger like me, that sort of thing. On the other hand, your personal dreams, where you really want to shine. What were you brought to the planet to do in the first place? So you're going to find that in some cases, your perceptions of what you think you want to do in your heart are actually in the way of your goals in society. And you'll find in some cases that your current goals in society are preventing you from really getting what your inner child really wants. So it's going to be back and forth with those two for the next 2 weeks. But like I said, we're going to have an awareness upgrade when the sun conjuncts Uranus. Then finally, for our shout out, goes to my soul sister, Kristen Ryder, who has a profile here on the Soul Garden Collective. Now, Kristen is planning a retreat in Oregon next summer for those of you who want to do some really hardcore spiritual work. So if you're interested in a spiritual retreat in Oregon, give my sister a little ring on the Soul Garden Collective. All right, that's all I have for today. Shout Out Wednesday. See you folks tomorrow with more. Live, love, be. Soul.